How's it going, everybody? Today's going to be my very first book review. Today we're going to be talking about the book Looking for Alaska. It is one of my all-time favorite books, if not my favorite book. It is written by John Green, and it is actually his first novel, which is even more impressive when you know that it won a Prince Award. For those of you that don't know, which I doubt there are many of you at this point, is the older brother of the Vlog Brothers. He also runs Crash Course. He ran VidCon with his brother Hank for a long time. But on top of that, he's also a very famous author. He wrote Looking for Alaska, The Abundance of Catherines, Paper Towns, The Fault in Our Stars, Will Grayson, and Let It Snow, and most recently he wrote Turtles All the Way Down. I'm reading it out of here. If you can't tell, I'm a little bit sick, so I've been reading lately, and that's why I wanted to do a book review. Now, I have Turtles All the Way Down, and I will be reviewing that very, very soon, but I wanted to review Looking for Alaska first, his first novel, and in my opinion, his best novel. He's a little bit like Kevin Smith in the way that he peaked in the very beginning, but unlike Kevin Smith in pretty much every other aspect. Looking for Alaska follows Miles Halter, a teenager who goes out searching for his great perhaps, his, important thing in life, what he's meant for, and he goes to a boarding school called Culver Creek, which is actually heavily based on John Green's boarding school, Indiana Springs. A lot in this book is actually based off of John Green's time at Indiana Springs, and it's very interesting to actually see video of John going to Indiana Springs and talking about it. Things such as the smoking hole, skipping class, even the event, I'll say, that this book is based about. I'm not going to go into too much detail, because this is a very, very difficult book not to spoil. I'll tell you this right now. Right here is a before. Right here is an after. I'm not going to tell you what is before and what is after, but it is amazing, and it's absolutely mind-blowing. It's a mind-blowing twist, and you might see it coming, you might not. Either way, once it's there, it changes the whole dynamic of the book. But anyway, Looking for Alaska follows Miles Halter, Alaska young Chip the Colonel, who's Miles' roommate, Takami, and Lara. Alaska, out of all those names, even Miles' name, I will say, is the most important. Alaska is the girl that Miles falls for. But he falls for her hard, puts her on a pedestal. He basically sees her as this wondrous being of a woman that he needs to have, but is out of his reach. And a lot of the book is focused around that. The Colonel, however, is an amazing character, and one of my favorite book characters of all time. He's Miles' roommate, amazing charisma, kind of anger problems, and he's kind of a short, stout little man. One of the reasons that I love this book so much is the controversy that surrounds it. There's controversy that surrounds it because John Green, from the very beginning, was an author that when he wrote for young adults did not want to treat them like kids. He wanted to treat them like adults, because that's what the genre is. It's YA, young adult. So there's a lot of subjects in this book that don't get delved into by other young adult authors and other young adult novels. One thing that sprung a lot of controversy is there's a blowjob scene in this, but it's between two of the characters, and the entire reason it's in there is because it is entirely void of emotion, entirely physical. It's described almost clinically and medically, and it's immediately followed by a scene that has a lot of emotion behind it, a lot of pure love and attraction, but has almost no physical contact. And stuff like that isn't in a lot of young adult novels, but it's in almost every single one of John Green's novels. It's in it because that's important storytelling. That's smart and unique storytelling, and young adults can handle that. Not only that, but I'm 21, and still to this day I almost exclusively read young adult novels. I don't really pick up adult novels. I'll read, John Green, the Hunger Games series, Divergent, Harry Potter, Ransom Riggs. It's early, so I'm blanking on other ones, but you get the point. I don't read adult novels. I don't know when I will start or if I ever will. I just like young adult novels before. It's not that I never have, it's just that I don't enjoy them as much. And I love seeing deeper things and more important things in young adult novels. It's one of the main reasons why he's my favorite author. But unfortunately, with the world we live in, that sprung a lot of controversy, is how he's a pornographer and you can't show that in schools, which I entirely disagree with. Kids, teens, and young adults, when I say kids, I don't mean like 12-year-olds, by the way, are more than intelligent enough to be able to see what that means. But anyway, I'm going out on a tangent. This book is phenomenal. There's really no way else for me to put it besides the fact that it's one of the greatest books of the last 50 years, maybe even more. Obviously, it was his first book and it won a Prince Award. That is an amazing accolade to get. So please, welcome in the first ever 10 out of 10. Round of applause, round of applause. I'm alone. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and check out my other reviews.